There is a selection of active players who have made significant investments purchasing football clubs, or hold a stake in a club following in the footsteps of some notable names like Ronaldo Nazario, LeBron James, David Beckham, Didier Drogba, and the class of '92. We're used to seeing footballers become coaches or pundits once their playing days are finished, but it's much more of an eyebrow raiser when one swaps the dressing room for the boardroom. Assuming they decide against the quiet retirement of golf and a bit of after-dinner speaking, coaching and punditry are the two obvious career paths for footballers to follow after hanging up their boots. But here are some who bought the ultimate toy, including some who did it while they were still playing. Ronaldo, Real Valladolid. Former Real Madrid striker Ronaldo Nazario has admitted he does not intend to remain at Real Valladolid in the long term. Ronaldo became the majority owner of Valladolid in September 2018, after buying 51% of the club's shares for a total of $30 million. The club have maintained their status in La Liga in the years since, and Ronaldo has insisted that this remains the objective for the current campaign. However, he does intend to make the club a challenger for European places and challenging for trophies by the time of his departure. While he does not intend to stay at the club in the long term, he has no plans to go anywhere soon. Patrick Mahomes, Sporting KC. Mahomes added to the collection of sports franchises that he has a stake in by buying into the ownership group of Sporting Kansas City. The Kansas City Chiefs quarterback, who led the team to back-to-back Super Bowl appearances, is also a minority owner of the Kansas City Royals Major League Baseball franchise since July 2020. No valuation has been reported for Mahomes' investment in Sporting Club, the MLS franchise's ownership group. LeBron James, Liverpool. NBA icon LeBron James made an exceptional profit from his minority stake in Liverpool FC, amid news the Fenway Sports Group are exploring the potential sale of the club. James already owns stakes in sports franchises around the world, serving as a minority owner of the Boston Red Sox and Liverpool through his partnership with FSG. The LA Lakers forward bought 2% of Liverpool with his business partner Maverick Carter for $6.5 million in April 2011, and it proved to be a particularly lucrative venture. Kevin Durant, Philadelphia Union. Brooklyn Nets star Kevin Durant officially joined the ranks of sports teams owners on Monday with the announcement that he purchased a stake in the Philadelphia Union from Major League Soccer. Durant acquired 5% of the Union with an option to purchase an additional 5% at a later date. He joins the likes of Houston Rockets guard James Harden and former Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson as investors in MLS teams. Harden owns a stake in the Houston Dynamo and Wilson owns a stake in the Seattle Sounders. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Hammarby. Iconic striker Zlatan Ibrahimovic has become the co-owner of Swedish top-flight soccer club Hammarby Football alongside AEG, after acquiring 50% of the US sports and entertainment company's stake in the Stockholm-based outfit. The announcement comes shortly after the former Sweden national team captain departed MLS side Los Angeles Galaxy, owned by AEG, earlier this month. It is not clear where next Ibrahimovic intends to continue playing, but expressed his excitement in joining Hammarby in an ownership capacity. James Harden, Houston Dynamo. Harden, who in 2017 signed a then NBA record $228 million contract extension with the Houston Rockets through to the 22-23 season, became the fifth member of the ownership group, which also owns the National Women's Soccer League's Houston Dash and the BBVA Stadium. The group is led by Mexican businessman Gabriel Brenner, who acquired control from AEG in 2015 for an undisclosed amount. The other members of the group are Ben Guil, Jake Silverstein, and former boxing world champion Oscar De La Hoya, all of whom are expected to continue their involvement after the basketball player's investment. Russell Wilson and Kiara, Seattle Sounders. Russell Wilson and his wife Kiara have joined the ownership team of Major League Soccer's Seattle Sounders FC. Wilson and Kiara are part of a new group of investors in the team that is led by former Microsoft executive Terry Myerson and his wife Katie Myerson, and also includes Seattle-bred rapper Macklemore and his wife Trisha Davis. Mohamed Callan, FC Callan. Callan is probably the least known of the early 2000s Inter strikers, but more than likely is the most eccentric. In 2002, the forward bought FC Callan, a team in his native Sierra Leone named after him 2 years before his takeover, and one he already had significant control over, for £19,500. Callan even signed for the club in 2009, 3 years after they'd won the league for the first time since the bizarre rename. His time in charge of the club has been turbulent to say the least, but he's stuck with it and sees a future in the club that affectionately showed their love in the best way possible for him. David Beckham, Inter Miami CF. The idea of Beckham owning a club was first proposed when he joined LA Galaxy from Real Madrid in 2007 and was offered the chance to buy an MLS expansion team for $25 million. He turned down the opportunity then, but began talks with the league following his retirement in 2013. And in March 2014, it was announced he had his option to buy an expansion team in Miami. It took 4 years, but in September 2018, the team finally got a name: Club Internacional de Football Miami, or Inter Miami for short, and the franchise is due to debut in MLS in 2020. Wigan Athletic. Did you know Dave Whelan broke his leg once? After a playing career that saw him turn out for just 2 clubs, Blackburn Rovers and Crewe Alexandria, Whelan went into business, setting up Whelan discount stores, followed by JJB Sports, and subsequently DW Sports. It was in 1995 that Whelan took control of Wigan Athletic, guiding the club to the promised land of the Premier League, into Europe, and to an FA Cup success in his time as chairman, before handing the reins over to his grandson David Sharp in 2015. Franny Lee, Manchester City FC. A Manchester City legend in his playing days and a man who loved the club, Franny Lee made his fortune in toilet rolls, then bought a controlling share in the Citizens to become the chairman in 1994. Lee was welcomed as a hero by City supporters, who had formed a movement named Forward with Franny, backing his attempt to gain control of the club. Upon becoming chairman, Lee made a series of extravagant claims about his plans for the club, but he was unable to back them up. Less than 2 years later, City were relegated. Lee stepped down in 1998. The Class of 92, Salford City. Part of the famous Class of 92, Ryan Giggs, Gary Neville, Phil Neville, Paul Scholes and Nicky Butt took over Salford City of the Northern Premier League Division 1 North in 2014, with the aim of making them a Football League club. Major upgrades to the Peninsula Stadium and big investment on the playing side, including from billionaire Peter Lim, has helped put Salford on the verge of achieving that aim. In January 2019, it was announced David Beckham had also bought a 10% stake in the club. So tell us, what do you think of these famous athletes? For more videos like this, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Turn on that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video.